Welcome back, Goblin Chefs. This is APGAINS. I'm going to teach you how to maximize the points in the raid no matter what team you have. This is geared towards free-to-play players so that they can maximize their points because, let's be honest, if you have Haradrim and you have the Elves, this is pretty easy, and you can kind of just point and click and it doesn't matter. But even if you do have those teams, this will also help you maximize. 90% of the information about Phase 1 of this raid is inconsequential, absolutely pointless. There's only 3 things you need to know, and I'll explain those 3 things to you so that you can get out of here in like 8 minutes and go on with your lives and maximize the raid forever and never have to watch another raid tutorial video ever again. I already did a tier 2 max run with Haradrim, Éomer, and Gaz. Luckily for free-to-play players, Gaz and Éomer are 2 of the best characters for this raid, 2 characters that almost every player in the entire world has. The Haradrim are much better, in my opinion, even without Elves, or even without their leader and their second. They're much better than the Elves, I believe. It's mostly just because they have AoEs. So let's talk about the 3 things you need to be successful in this raid. The first one is to understand, or the 3 things you need to understand. The first one is the bomb guy. The second one is the shield guy. And the third one is that this is massively RNG dependent, and that's fine. You're going to have to do a couple of runs to get the proper work. So I'm not going to use any characters that you guys wouldn't have. I'm just going to throw in here. Now, you are going to perform in your personal free-to-play Tier 1 or Tier 2 runs better than I'm about to perform here. I'm obviously leaving out the 2 best characters, Gaz and Éomer, so my run is not going to be as good as yours is, but just imagine that they're there, and you can kind of apply what you're seeing on the screen to yours, and yes, you will outperform this, even if your gear levels aren't at 7, like I believe these characters are at 7. Actually, I'm going to bring in Eladin, and he's going to be my like pseudo Gaz. He does way less damage, and he has 1 less AoE, so this is still kind of a disadvantage, and him being gear 8 means nothing. The actual strength of your characters doesn't really matter in this raid. Aside for you can survive slightly longer in higher tiers, which give you more points, but that doesn't matter. That's a whale thing. I don't know. Strider has an AoE, and I'll bring in Arwen. Why not? So essentially how this is going to work is you're going to load in. You're going to have 2 phases as a free-to-play player, unless you have stronger characters, you get lucky, or you have spent money and have more teams. Phase 1 is going to be trying to get this first bomber to kill the entire team. Phase 2 is going to be the exact same thing, but also hoping that no shield guys spawn. And then there's an optional Phase 3 where, like, if you can kind of hang on, there is the opportunity for 2 or 3 bombers to spawn. I haven't seen 3. I've heard it through the grapevine, but if you can get 2 bombers to spawn the second time and they just happen to blow their whole team up, you could get a max run as a free-to-play player. The chances of that happening are very unlikely. So essentially what you want to do is you want to just weaken the sides as best you can. Again, with Éomer and Gaz, you're going to be a lot better. The reason those 2 characters are great and why I keep exclaiming to the world how amazing they are is Gaz has AoEs. AoEs are fantastic here because when this guy taunts or does his little bomb thing, you want to make sure, by God, every single turn you take, you are attacking him. With Gaz, you can both attack him and attack the sides twice with his 2 AoEs. The reason you want AoEs is you weaken them, he blows the whole squad up, you get a massive bonus as far as points are concerned. The reason Éomer is so important is because he has his summon and call assist ability, which is 2 instances against this guy's mechanic, which I'll explain here in a second, as well as he gets that blue buff, which allows him to assist on other people's basic, which is an extra stack. When he gets his Don't Rush Me, you have to target him. You don't have to target him, but you're going to want to target him. Every stack you get from attacking. Multi-attack still count as 1. Every stack is a 10% chance he blows up his own team. So where in PvP you might want to taunt and pass turn meter, every single turn you want to make sure you are attacking here. This is where Gaz is great because, again, you can AoE. This is where Éomer is great because, like, instead of this being 4 stacks, this could very realistically already be at 7 stacks. This is simulating a Gaz attack. You'll have Aothane, I'm sure. So is 70 enough? Is 80 enough? Yeah. So he's going to blow his team up, and you're going to get a big chunk of points. If he kills everyone, I think you get around 105,000 points or something like that. And now we want to hope that there's no shield guys. There is a shield guy, which blows, by the way. This is a terrible RNG run. We want to make sure we kill him as soon as possible because he is going to taunt. And if you haven't guessed, when he's taunting, you can't target this guy, which means you can't increase the probability he blows his own team up, which does two things. One, it kills you faster, which is obviously not good. And two, it reduces the maximum amount of points you can get because he's blowing you up and not his team up, and that's how you get the most amount of points. So this is a perfect example of an atrociously bad RNG run. You're likely not going to have this on phase 2 of phase 1. On part 2 of this raid, you're likely not going to have this kind of bad RNG, but I guess this is an example of something where you might just want to reroll. But imagine, your Gaz and your AMR and your whole squad, your whole free-to-play squad, you went after him. You had enough AoEs where he weakened his guys and he blew them all up. You're sitting at about 220,000 points, which is really good for a free-to-play player on phase 2. And if that's the only team you have, that's commendable, right? That is a good run. You could get the legendary mega David Goggins stay hard run where I think maybe Boylon had one of those Giga Chad runs where, the phase 3, they just blew themselves up, which was like a, 1 in a million shot. It's possible. It's not likely to happen. But, there is a chance it happens. Worst case scenario, if you have a really good run and you're trying to tapering off at the end there, if there is the possibility to AoE and multi-hit someone, even if it's not like the bomber himself killing them, you're going to maximize your points. You can kind of finish off whatever your peak run is. Just post it. If you get over 200 to 220,000 phase 2 as a free-to-play player, I would consider that a good run. Haradrim can get a full 300k with Gaz and Aomer. Elves, if you add Aomer and Gaz, can get a full 300k. Rohan with Gaz can get a full 300k. It's really balanced for how well each of the 3 main squads in the game can do. I haven't seen any footage on the Hobbits. They could be good. Essentially, more attacks, more AoEs is what you want. Kind of an extension of how the game is already. I'll show you Elves just in case you happen to be curious. You don't AoE, so maybe I take in Strider because this is only phase 2, and he's just maybe strong enough. Probably not a great idea, but I'll throw them in there. They're just for fun. I don't think the Elves are really that good for this raid, to be perfectly honest. Where they do excel is, since it's only really a 2-wave raid, you do have the opportunity to have enough AoEs to where you can kind of make something happen. But if you want to go for that full max, a lot of it comes down to, are you also running Aomer Gaz, which can make any team god tier? Or do you just have good enough AoE RNG to the point where, you can get the bomber to wipe squad? I'll probably get maybe 230,000 points. I actually don't think I have enough AoE damage here. What the fuck? All right, well, that was a little strange. That was a little strange. I do not know why I didn't AoE there. Maybe it was just because I had the little you can't hit anyone, so it just canceled the animation. Probably a good thing. Maybe I wish it applied the basic, but even with that little debuff that doesn't allow you to hit people, it still counts towards his stacks of whatever the fuck it's called. Don't rush me. So don't feel shy about throwing that down. That AoE only killed one person, so not exactly a great run, but hopefully it weakens everyone else enough to the point where when he gets his little blue buff, we can get a full team wipe here and try to get closer to that 200,000. One thing I have noticed, it's kind of like a niche problem that some people might find concerning, but is I don't know if it's like a first world problem. If your Elro here is too strong, he occasionally does too much damage to be useful for the raid. I know that sounds weird. Again, I'm just having terrible fucking RNG here. I guess I'm having the opposite of streamer luck. I was having great runs all day. I was getting full max scores with 2 of my 3 teams. But I guess the fact that you guys are here is kind of ruining my RNG. I'll do one more run just for posterity. But why is work? Oh, wow. Our elevators at work have been broken literally all day, and we just got an email that they got fixed like 5 hours after everyone left the office. But yeah, like if you can successfully get a full squad wipe P1, which will always happen if you have Gaz plus any other AoE character, you're on track to do the same thing in P2. If you don't, it's usually the case that you kind of want to restart the run. Elves don't do a ton of AoE damage without Gaz, so frequently he'll blow up his team, but he won't quite kill them, and then you just want to like not kill anyone and hope another one spawns. Like, watch this. Like, this is not going to be enough damage. I don't have the blind on me or whatever the fuck it's called, so maybe this AoE does enough to the point where he at least kills 4 of them. Yeah, there we go. So we're up to 90. So instead of like 105, we're up to like 90. No shield guys have spawned. So we'll try to do some damage around the periphery. This guy, I think, has a little bit more health than anyone else. I'm hoping for at least... Oh, there's 2 bombers here, actually. That's actually really, really bad. Okay, so we'll go after this bomber. 2 bombers can be nice in phase 3. And by phase 3, I mean the second, like, respawn of the entire squad. And essentially that's just because it gives you, like I talked about, that weird niche case where you can have them blow themselves up for like an extra max score on top of everything else you've already done, which will almost never happen, but can technically happen. So, you know, if you get the God run, you know, it's not the end of the world. Like if he had blown there's a 30% chance he blows his own team up there, that would have been kind of hot. I'm going to try to not kill these guys as much as possible because you want to get AoE kill. Oh, fuck. I was going to say you want to kill multiple people at the same time. So we're kind of just holding on for dear life. Trying to see. Please don't kill him. Fuck it. Whatever. All right. What did we get? We got a shield guy. Not good because he's taunting. So let's try to get him down. I actually just wasted the dispel. That is the one actual good argument for... what's her face? She can dispel. So maybe if Elro here has his... Oh, there we go. I was going to say, if Elro here has his team up, we can knock him out and then hopefully get this guy to blow his own team up. I don't think I have my Elrond AoE, but honestly... Oh, fuck. I was like 60% chance for him to hit his own team. If they did that, and then we got this guy to hit his own team. Yeah, I'm just having terrible RNG. This is what I'm talking about. Like, there's like cases where like there's no way that you should have luck this bad, but still somehow you do. And if you have bad luck, you re-roll. Even with bad luck, I might be able to do max. No, okay. If that killed anyone, I would have. But you're seeing exactly why Aomer plus what's his face? Aomer plus Gaz will turn literally any team into a max squad because it gives you that flexibility to make sure that they're killing their own team, but also giving you the AoEs to make sure they're killing their own team. All right. Maybe if I can get... Oh, fuck. Please don't kill everyone. Okay, good. If I can hit him enough times and not have him literally attack me with like a 90% chance to attack his teammates... There we go. You're going to get a big roll there. So, like, I'm up to 260 at this point. We're into... I don't even know what phase we're into. But at this point, we're, like, at the territory where we're close to max. And, like, if you have an opportunity to start killing motherfuckers, just start killing motherfuckers. You're not going to be able to do a lot of fancy stuff here. So, like, I wouldn't even worry about attacking him. I'm just going to start killing people and get close to that, as close to that max as possible. I think with... the Haradrim, I like... Oh, fuck. I didn't even realize that was a bomber. That's really bad. We have an opportunity for the God run. Yeah, there we go. I was going to say, we have an opportunity for the God run where they're going to attack their own team. You basically, if you get the God RNG, you get a max... you basically get a max score, which is awesome. So, not the best comp. You guys are going to obviously have a better advantage on your first run than your second run because your optimal free-to-play characters are going to be much more... viable than... Obviously elves are pay to win, but they're not fantastic in the raid. They do give you an extra 300,000, but it's kind of an ugly 300,000. So we'll post that. We got, what, 2 max runs. I think I was like 3,000 off of like an actual max run here. So we'll look. I think a few people in my guild got max. One guy in my guild got the max, which this is literally the best you can possibly do. And they're all 7-star characters. They have longevity. I think you kind of appreciate how they have a little bit more survivability than 5 and 6-star characters. I think my best run, I guess that was my new best run, 300,000. But I mean, I have 2 runs of that, so I'm at basically 600,000. Something that you might come into contact with at the end is like, what can you do with Hodgepodge? I actually don't know. I actually don't know what you can do with Hodgepodge, so we're about to find out. Worst case scenario, can you scrape by a couple of points? We're about to find out together. Let's see. All right, we're still recording, right? I just like moved everything and traveled and all that stuff, so like the new setup is not exactly fantastic. So oh fuck. All right, well, I should not have done that, but whatever. He's back, so I guess it's not the end of the world. All right, let's AoE. All right, so I've never done difficulty 1 before. I didn't realize just how weak they would be. So let's see. Are you going to do the thing? Are you going to do the thing? All right, there we go. I was going to say, please just do the thing. Man, difficulty 1 is certainly a lot weaker than I had anticipated it would be. So I guess the answer is you shouldn't really have a problem in difficulty 1. All right, 50% chance to hit his teammates, 60% chance. I know he's going to hit me because this game fucking sucks. 70% chance to hit his teammates, 80% chance he's still going to hit me. Watch me. Watch this. Watch this. 90%, he's still going to hit me. I swear, if he had 110%, if he had 11 stacks, he would still hit me. Okay, good. Oh, fuck. All right, do any of these people have an AoE? If not, can I survive? Oh, this is a bomber, too. Oh, shit, I didn't even realize this was a bomber. One thing I don't like is they look so similar that, like, I frequently don't remember to check which one the bomber is. All right, I got a little... That's only 30... It's only 10k for, like, a basically full squad wipe. Why would you ever do this? Why would you ever do this? Let me retry and change it to tier 2. I can get at least 100k. I can get... There's no way. I can get at least 100k with this. I'm sorry for dragging this on as long as humanly possible, but I can 100% get 100k with this. All right. Don't attack him. I need to at least kill one person. That's my goal. Honestly, if he can kill one person, I think I'll get more damage than I think I'll get more damage than I would have in the tier 1. What do I need to be, like 40k? All right. So he has an opportunity. He'll at least kill that guy, which is all that matters. I just need him to kill one, I believe, to do enough damage. They are way faster, though. Okay, maybe I misspoke. Maybe they are just too fucking quick. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Nope. All right. Well, you know what? That's a waste. Okay, maybe cleanup matches are just dog shit. All right. Goodbye.